We start today's show. Let me tell you about the Oxford Exxon Highway 6 West in Oxford. Head on over to the Blue Sky and pick up a lunch special, $4.99, 2 sides of bread, 32-ounce drink. Also, with all the rainy weather in town today, go by and get some ribs tonight. Make dinner easy, wet or dry. Call ahead. They'll be ready to go, or just stop by. They'll be waiting on you there as well after just a few seconds. So the Oxford Exxon Highway 6 West in Oxford, Stadium Cups, you can refill them 49 cents there with the Oxford Exxon. And coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio, 662-257-1900, Highway 25 South, there in Amory, Mississippi. Give Corey Clark a call. He's going to give you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. Shop it around, take it. It's going to be a good deal. So when you're signing the paperwork there toward the end, tell him about the podcast, this or any other podcast that we do on the MPW Digital family of podcasts. $500 more off your deal at Clark Ford. Now on to the show.
From the Clark Ford Studio in Oxford, Mississippi, MPW Digital proudly presents the Oxford Exxon Podcast.
I'd say thanks for tuning in, but why am I going to give you a round of applause for something that you're supposed to do, to be frank?
And now, here are your hosts, Chase Parham.
That broadcast school has really paid off.
And Neal McCready.
I deserve to be on TV.
Welcome to this Tuesday edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio this morning. What is, at least as of now, scheduled pretty busy day in Ole Miss athletics. I got a feeling it's going to get cut by half sometime here soon. However, the main event, Ole Miss basketball at Columbia, South Carolina, facing the Gamecocks tonight, 6 o'clock start time for that one. Two teams battling for that double bye in the SEC for the SEC tournament in Nashville, and just a little better standing as it pertains to NCAA tournament play. Both teams searching for their 9th conference win of the season, which is a little bit of a big deal. So two teams that were thought to be at the bottom of the conference, now much more toward the top tonight in Columbia. We'll talk a good bit about that today. And then on the other side, Ole Miss baseball scheduled to host Arkansas State tonight at 6:30. Or I say 6:30. I think 4 o'clock, actually. I get stuck with 6:30. I think it's 4. At Swayze Field, but that's probably irrelevant as of 8:06 a.m. Looking at some forecasts, I have a hard time believing there's anything close to a baseball game played today. So we'll see what a reschedule might be with that. I saw Georgia's already rescheduled theirs with Kennesaw State, and I have a feeling some other ones might be in the works as well. So we'll get that to you. If it pops during the podcast in the next hour and 15 minutes or so, then we'll hear it here. If not, rebelgrove.com or Twitter or wherever. So
they're not playing baseball today.
Don't think they're playing baseball today. Don't like their chances. Just a hunch.
It's a high of like 42 and rain all day. Lots of rain.
End of the night. And tomorrow night. And then
frankly, into the weekend.
Yeah. Sunday, it finally kind of goes away, and it's actually pretty nice the first part of next week as of right now. But, it's we talked about it after the Wright State thing happened on Sunday. Ole Miss gets popped by the weather, and it's a little bit of a big deal, not just on makeups. We talked about that yesterday. I'm not going to go ad nauseum on that again. But they were going to get Thomas Dillard some work behind the plate tonight. They were going to let him catch a game in the non-conference, see what that looked like in game action. Would be his first game action behind the plate as an Ole Miss Rebel. And then I'm assuming, given the news I'll mention in a second, that Doug Nikhazy would have gotten his first career start as a midweek arm for Ole Miss as well. They still haven't thrown Caracci yet. They haven't thrown Nikhazy. A lot of guys that have not pitched, Gunnar Hoagland obviously, and some of those guys will be needed this weekend, as it was said yesterday. Mike Bianco, appearing on Sports Talk Mississippi last night, said that Will Etheridge's blister is not very good right now, and that he's unlikely to make his start this weekend at Tulane. The Ole Miss ace gave up no runs, I think, on 4 hits or something like that on Friday against the Raiders. But he left the game in the 6th inning with a blister issue. Mike mentioned that he's kind of prone to blisters where it is. He's a little worried about it. So he's not going to throw a bullpen this week. He has not picked up a baseball since Friday, and he is questionable at best, but likely not throwing this weekend against the Green Wave in an effort to let it heal, give it time to get better prior to much more important games as the season goes on. In his stead, Ole Miss is likely to turn to Houston Roth, who is overcoming shoulder issues on his non-throwing shoulder faster than maybe at first expected. He threw 60 feet on last Friday, and then I think some order of him, Phillips, and Hoagland would be the rotation this week. were it not if Etheridge is not pitching. I don't know exactly the order to that, but it looks like Phillips, Hoagland, and Roth would be the guys in New Orleans, and it looks like that's going to be the case because, yes, you do nothing whatsoever to rush Will Etheridge back for a non-conference game when you have 13 more weeks left in the season.
No.
None.
No. The games, I'm not going to say they don't matter. They don't matter as much as the conference games.
Well, I mean, even beyond that, it's just you rush it, and suddenly you've got this lingering thing for 2 months with a blister. I mean, Mike mentioned Bobby Wall yesterday. I remember covering that. It was every dang week you're dealing with a blister issue.
Yeah, you let it heal. Let it heal. If he misses a couple of weeks, he misses a couple of weeks. Not that there's been a lot of it, and most of it is sarcastic, but the gnashing of teeth in mid-February over a college baseball deal is, it's almost like the people that go looking for trouble. It's just so early. Just don't worry about it. You're going to be all right. It's going to come down to 10 weekends in the SEC, the way it always comes down to 10 weekends in the SEC.
From a positioning standpoint, I don't really even feel like talking about non-conference games till you lose at least 6. That's the number where I start going, okay. Maybe that starts affecting host site things if you get much lower than that. You always go into it never wanting to be worse than 20-6 in the non-league. They're 1-1, so
yeah,
see where it goes. But that's kind of the thought from where I am with that. Again, they play Tulane this weekend, 6:30, 2-1, and the weather's not real super down there either on Saturday for that matter. Sunday's okay. Friday could kind of go either way as of right now. I asked somebody about yesterday, and they said, well, it's basically a rainforest right now down there.
Yep.
So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it might just be that year where you just get popped by the weather for a little while. It happened in 2015 with Ole Miss. They played doubleheaders all the time. Did a great job getting them in, but they're in danger of having 2 games played, 2 games rained out as of right now. So anyway, you can read a little more about that at rebelgrove.com. I put
Friday
some stuff up on that yesterday in New Orleans.
Yeah, Friday in New Orleans.
Okay.
Thunderstorms. Rain showers in the morning with numerous thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High of 76, chance of rain 80%. Saturday.
What about Friday night?
Partly to mostly cloudy, low of 68. But I don't know.
It might get out of there.
I don't know how late into the night we're talking about.
Okay.
Saturday, PM thunderstorms, high of 78.
That's not really a problem for the most
Chance
part.
of rain 80%. Saturday night.
Squeeze it in front of it.
Saturday night, thunderstorms.
Okay.
Scattered thunderstorms during the evening. Chance of rain 80%. And
Okay.
then Sunday looks okay.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. As evidenced by
It's obvious God hates Ole Miss. I mean that's the obvious. That's the only conclusion you really can reach so far.
It's very unlucky for everyone involved because we really have not. I mean, I know for the year we've had a ton of rain, but the last couple of weeks have been pretty good. Then all of a sudden, boom, 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 and you hit this El Nino type thing that's coming in this week. So, what year was that when El Nino was just this big thing? We talked about it every day. What was that, like 01, 02, like early 2000s?
Chase, it's Tuesday, and I can't remember Sunday, so I don't know.
You don't remember what year El Nino was a big deal?
I mean, I'd love to sit here and take an educated guess, but I couldn't even begin to do that.
Do you really not have one?
No.
Do you know that I have let multiple people try some of those other Kit Kat flavors that we had?
Yeah.
And every one of them, literally every one of them, so 4 other people, liked the melon mascarpone.
Really?
Not just thought it was okay, liked it.
You've got to get better friends.
It's weird, isn't it?
You have some, like, satanic friends or something.
You think so?
I mean, something's wrong with them.
You don't think it's possible we just all have different taste buds and palates and different things?
Of course not. No, something is clinically wrong with their brains. You should be careful.
Is that better or worse than the guy that puts mayonnaise on, like, both sides of his burger?
Those people can't be trusted.
Okay.
Those people cannot be trusted.
Fair enough.
That's like sometimes Laura will cut up a tomato and put mayonnaise on it. And I'm like, why do you do this in my presence? Get out. Warn me next time.
There's somebody I would stay with when I was young that would try to feed me as a very young child tomato and mayonnaise sandwiches.
What else did they try to do to you? Because there's no telling. Once you start down that road.
You don't think that was a first offense is what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you. I think if they're capable of that, they're capable of anything.
Somebody asked, I don't know if it was in your mailbag or just on the message board, in the spirit of our condiment conversation.
I saw this.
Does butter and sour cream count as a condiment?
No, it's 2 condiments.
You have to pick one or the other.
Yes.
But pepper or salt would not be a condiment. So why does butter become a condiment?
Because you don't put sour cream on everything that you put butter. Like if you put butter on your toast, do you put sour cream on your toast?
Which you put jelly, which would be the condiment.
I don't know.
Does butter, the question, I mean, look, sour cream is certainly a condiment.
You are really messing with the entire works of the world
I'll get
right
to something
now.
in a minute that's a little more relevant, or at all relevant compared to this. But does butter fall in that category of just seasoning that does not fall into a condiment is the question.
So you're saying it's butter like flour or sugar?
Or salt or pepper is more apt to what we're discussing. Because if you got to pick one condiment, you wouldn't go salt. You would think salt is just implied because you cook with it.
Yeah, yeah. And we'd have to put that up for a vote in front of the committee.
Yeah, does butter fall into that category? Is the question.
I'm willing to consider it.
But you think it's a little bit cheating if you can use it in any application you want.
A little bit. Because it's allowing you to get into combinations. It's allowing you to go, well, how often do you go to a restaurant and they just have mustard or just ketchup? Usually they have both if they have one. And we're saying you have to pick one.
Yes.
So there's a little bit of that with the salt and pepper. Because if you told me I can only have salt or pepper, I'm thinking really hard about the pepper. And I like salt.
I get that you cook with salt so much more prevalently. I understand that. But when I'm just at a restaurant and I feel like my plate needs something, I grab the pepper every time. I hardly ever add additional salt to anything.
I'm the same way.
But I'll add pepper every day. Something's kind of wrong with it. I just dump some pepper on it. It'll be all right.
I pretty much put pepper on everything. So, I mean, I don't...
You're given salt and pepper, though. That's never been the condiment you had to choose.
No, I don't want to fight that because that really...
That bothers a lot of different things.
Well, it stops you from really being able to get into the debate.
Yeah. We're mostly talking about some sort of liquid or non-solid condiment.
Yes. Mustard, ketchup, mayonnaise.
Hot sauce, barbecue sauce, sriracha. I
Yeah.
think Jay Tate's was sriracha.
Yeah.
Butter's the one. That's the only one that I'm sort of whatever about, that I can't decide whether it counts or whether it goes somewhere else. And I think it has to be just given to you, too, because you're not going to dip your fries in melted butter. You're not going to put melted butter on your chicken sandwich.
No.
So you have to be given butter.
And you probably already used butter in the preparation of
See?
many of those dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll allow that. Now, I will not allow mayonnaise to be given the people that, like a lot of people, because to keep it moist or whatever, or not flake off or whatever, they coat their fish in mayonnaise before they cook it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to give you that application, though. You got to choose mayonnaise if you're having mayonnaise.
Oh, I agree. In fact, I'm leading the charge for just banning mayonnaise as a rule.
Okay.
Just get rid of it completely. Eliminate it from the face of God's planet.
Fair enough.
I mean, you wouldn't miss it, would you?
Not even a little bit.
Okay, I wouldn't either.
That's why, I've got family members that won't tell me what's in a lot of things that they cook because they know I'll get freaked out by the individual ingredients. Cream of mushroom soup is the one that just I can't handle it. I mean,
I'm not a big casserole kind of person, really.
There's a few that I like okay, but no, I mean, I'm not going to be the guy that goes, oh, wow, there's tater tot casserole. Let me dig in.
Well, no, like in fact, and I really don't care if we're pissing people off right now because this is important. I see people do tater tot casserole and people rave about it. I saw the other day on the Food Network, somebody was doing that, and it looked absolutely disgusting. I would not eat that. If I want tater tots, I'll just go buy some at the store.
I like tater tots all right.
I do too. They're fine.
They're fine. What's your hamburger side item hierarchy? A really good onion ring is number one.
Yeah, a really good onion ring is awesome. But now if it's super soggy, I'm not interested in it.
No, I mean the real onion ring that's crispy. And,
I'm in.
That's number one. That's above any French fry.
That's where you take some ketchup and you put hot sauce, salt, and pepper, stir that in, and make a concoction. Oh, man. It's
Really?
fantastic. Oh, yeah. Trust me.
Okay.
And
All
a cold beer.
Yeah.
May have done that a few times in Monroe.
Okay.
Wish I could remember the name of that place. They had very average burgers and phenomenal onion rings. Oh, my God.
Okay.
To the point where sometimes we'd go and just get two orders of onion rings and just skip the burger because the burger was, it's all right. But the onion rings were just incredible.
Seasoned fries, crinkle fries.
I like seasoned fries. I like fries. I mean, I wish I could sit here and tell you that I had some fry preference, but the truth is, man, I mean, I can't eat that stuff, but like that.
See, that's one of my weird things. I'm not a French fry person.
Yeah.
I don't order them very often at all.
I like them. I like at Blind Pig. I like their chips. Their seasoned
their chips are fantastic.
Their chips are phenomenal.
They're homemade. I don't know. I guess they're home. Their pig skins are great
their
too.
Pork rinds are fantastic.
Yeah, pork rinds.
Yeah. Their burgers are great. I love that place.
But no, I'm not going to order tater tots. Is the point? I don't think I'm fine with a tater tot if you hand me a tater tot, but I'm never going to order a tater tot.
No, I'm not going to order them. Like Carson likes them, and so sometimes he'll have them, and there'll be a few.
It's a kid thing.
There'll be a few laying around, and I'm like, that looks good.
It's a kid thing.
Yeah, but
it falls in the line with chicken nuggets. There's an age where it stops being appropriate to eat chicken nuggets. Eat a chicken strip. If you like
chicken
at that
nuggets
point.
don't.
There's something about the nugget that is childlike to me. I know I'm not
even a real big chicken strips guy.
I like a real good chicken strip. I'm all in. Yeah, all in.
I get them sometimes, and they're so dry.
Well, I just said a really good one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's bad anything. I mean,
yeah.
Well, you wouldn't be a steak person if I said, okay, your only meat is this London broil served well done.
No, I'd be out. Just the thought of chewing that all day hurts.
But yeah, tater tots don't fall in there for me. I mean, when I was a kid, I would get tater tots with cheese from Sonic. But
yeah,
that's
that sounds good right now. Put some chili on the top.
You know, they got the chili pies back and stuff, the wraps, the whole deal.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's there.
I just can't do that
Order
stuff.
a Piccolos, have at it.
I just can't do that stuff. Oh, their pickles are good. Yeah. That place in Monroe had great fried pickles too.
Spears or chips? What do you want?
Chips.
You want chips. You don't want spears.
I don't like the spear. I like
the spear is harder to eat fried.
Yeah,
than the chip.
It's not my thing.
Little comeback sauce, ready to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. How did we get off this? Where do we go?
I have no idea.
What were we talking about?
I don't even know.
You know what we're talking about?
We were talking about baseball and weather. I don't remember the transition.
I still can't get frips with my burger. We've been talking about this like 5 years. Still can't do it.
Can't get what?
Frips with my fried chips.
Oh,
with my burger at baseball.
Because you have to pay extra?
No, because the frips are a pork barbecue thing from like the Chops or whatever the barbecue vendor is in the place.
Oh.
But the fries are just like the normal concession thing.
Yeah.
So they're at different places, so I can't get chips with my burger.
You could.
It's really a first world problem, but I've been struggling with this for years because I don't like the French fries. I'm not a big French fry guy. But the burger, especially when you're at 35 games a year, is the most consistent, just best thing when you need something to eat on the menu.
Yeah.
So I'd like my chip with my burger, and it is. I mean, I guess I could just go pay for the chips. Frankly, I'm overcomplicating this a little bit.
I feel certain they would let you.
They would.
That's my guess.
But I don't think you can buy the chips by themselves. I think I'd have to buy the barbecue sandwich or buy the whatever to get the chips.
Well, that makes no sense at all.
I don't think I could just buy the chips.
You think that would boggle their minds?
Yes, I don't think there is a way to push that in to buy the chips.
I guess you could buy the sandwich and give it to some kid and go, here you go, bud.
I just want the chips.
I just want the chips.
Take my burger with me, put it in the basket with the chips, and move on with my day.
Yeah, I mean.
So now I'm spending $10 for a pair of for like 25 chips.
Not the most cost efficient thing in the world, but you are at the ballpark, and that happens.
And I did save the money on the burger because I don't have to pay for food as media, at least to a certain extent. So I'm technically just buying my meal is what I'm doing.
You're technically just buying a meal.
Yeah.
Buy one, get one free.
Yeah. And I give some kid a barbecue sandwich.
Or you could take the barbecue sandwich upstairs, and if the game goes 6 hours, like half of them do, you have food.
Wrap it up.
It's a little cold at that time, but it's sustenance.
Okay. I've been campaigning to get the meal ticket price up enough to get the burger, but I still have not been able to get the chips with the burger. So that's my next goal.
Did you watch The Bachelor last night?
I never watched The Bachelor. I know nothing about The Bachelor. I couldn't pick any one of the people out of a lineup from The Bachelor. I thought you were getting the girl on, and we're not at the point. This was your deal. This was your deal, and you're failing. I'm going
to tweet at her in just a minute and see if she can come on tomorrow.
It's not like we don't have someone that might have her number, but let's make sure we tweet
I'd like
at
to go
her,
through her.
Oh, you don't want to go through him?
I don't know that I completely trust him.
You don't think he passes that message on?
I'm not positive. I went 3 for 4 on the finalist.
So what are we down to?
4.
Hold on, we're already down to 4.
No, now this is when I wanted to get her on because now it gets real. It's real now. There was riffraff in the.
Oh, so we're just doing like a one-off. We're not doing like I thought we were having like a person, like a weekly spot.
Well, we might do it now because it's down to the weeks that matter. He's going to go.
We got 3 weeks left now.
He's going to go at home. He's going to go see all their families and find out that most of the families are psychopaths, which is totally predictable because their daughters are on this show. Okay. Then we're going to have the fantasy suites, and keep in mind this guy's portraying himself as inexperienced.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the women tell all, which is usually a really good cat fight. And then we'll have the final rose. But I went 3 for 4. I went 3 for 4 on finalists.
I'm spending 30 seconds on this at most. Do you still anticipate them not doing fantasy suites?
No, the teasers indicate that there will be dramatics.
So you'll be left wondering.
See, it's one of the things I want to talk to Aaliyah about. I don't think they're going to be able to do that. My theory is whoever is the one who gives him his first experience is not going to be the winner, but she's going to get the consolation prize of getting to sleep with me. I mean, date 25 men in the next season, which will be the Bachelorette.
Oh, you think that's the Bachelorette?
That's my theory.
But does that make her less likely with the female population that she was the person that did that?
No,
because the Bachelorette has to be likable. Because the psycho can't be the Bachelorette.
No, he's going to talk her into he's ready for this experience.
So she's going to be hurt and
devastated. Yes.
Oh, it's almost like you could write this up.
Crushed. She's going to
almost like you could write this up.
Yeah, she's going to be crushed.
Hollywood has nothing.
And they've built it up where the two that I think are going to be the finalists are big buddies, and their friendship's going to get tested.
Ooh.
Yeah. You can feel the drama.
It's going to be the most dramatic rose ceremony ever.
But you know what's been funny is we haven't seen much of Chris Harrison the last few weeks. He really hadn't been around. Like, I don't know that I saw him at all in last night's episode.
Something? Is he on suspension or something?
I don't know. But, like, instead of them having rose ceremonies, the dude's been, like, giving out the roses at dinner. Yeah. Like, last night he walked the girl out. He had 2 left. He had to give 1 rose, and he walked the loser out.
Oh.
Her name was Kerpa. You knew Kerpa was gone weeks ago.
Kerpa?
Yeah. You knew she was gone weeks ago. I'm surprised she made it that far.
Really?
Yeah, it's a big upset for her to get in the final 5.
Ooh. Psycho still there? The one that you thought was
No,
Psycho?
she's gone. She's gone. She's been gone for a little while. And then the one that
are both the Southern girls still there?
One of them. Miss Alabama got dumped last night.
Ah, okay. All right.
She told him she was in love with him, but he said he couldn't
commit.
He couldn't get there right now.
Yeah. Darn.
Happens. She's kind of crazy. You could tell she was probably borderline certifiable.
Ooh.
Hot though.
Okay. Podcast brought to you in part by Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Soto County, and Chattanooga. Underwriting and processing done in Memphis. They're getting local underwriting that understands your market, a leader in condo financing and the float-down option. So you can find Jason at 662-234-2704 or JLOWE at communitymtg.com.
The Ole Miss women's hoops team back in the pavilion on Thursday for a matchup with the MSU Bulldogs. Last week, I kept saying MSU, but they were playing Vanderbilt. Join at 6 p.m. for free food in the Pavilion Club. Tip-off is set for 7. For tickets, visit OleMissTix.com. At least this is scheduled for now. Join the Rebels at Swayze Field tonight as they host Arkansas State at 4 p.m. Tickets can be purchased by visiting OleMissTix.com. The Ole Miss men's basketball team returns to the Pavilion on Saturday, February 23rd, as they take on Georgia at 2:30 p.m. Tickets remain and can be purchased at OleMissTix.com. Guests will join us this week on the Patterson and Earhart hotline. Patterson and Earhart, attorneys at law. They specialize in personal injury law and real estate law, but theirs is a general practice that can handle any of your legal needs. When you contact Patterson and Earhart, you speak to one of the partners in the firm, and that too will handle your case, not some paralegal at a faceless corporate firm. If Patterson and Earhart can't help you, they'll refer you to someone who can. John Calvin Patterson and Wes Earhart are Ole Miss guys. They're local guys. And when you call them, you're going to get one of them on the phone within the same day, guaranteed. So whether you've been injured in a car wreck or have other legal issues, give them a call, 662-526-1992, or check out their website, pelaws.com. Your initial consultation is free. If you're coming to Oxford to watch Rebel Hoops at the Pavilion, maybe you're coming for baseball season, maybe you're coming for double-decker, or maybe you are looking for a place to book your home base for the 2019 football season, go to Home 2 Suites Oxford. It's located 1 mile from the campus, just off the Old Taylor Road exit, 662-238-3400. It's an ideal location for those coming to Oxford to cheer on Rebel baseball, softball, football, whatever it may be. 662-238-3400, Home 2 Suites Oxford. And along those lines, warm weather is on the horizon, and with it comes the inevitable debate of sock or no sock with your loafers. So save your feet and your shoes from making their own impression and step into spring with some no-shows from Dead Soxy. You really need to experience the difference a quality sock makes. It's the first step in dressing for the job you want and not the job you have. So go to deadsoxy.com, enter the code RebelGrove at checkout to receive 30% off all orders, including sale items. These no-shows are the same quality you already love and enjoy with Dead Soxy's traditional dress socks. And again, they come with the no-slip guarantee. So go to deadsoxy.com, check out their no-show collection, and remember to enter promo code RebelGrove at checkout for 30% off all orders.
Podcast is brought to you by Scripted Jewelry, scriptedjewelry.com. Go to the website, see all the different ways they can make a holiday or just that special moment special for you, from a lookbook to sizing guides, frequently asked questions, and ways to personalize sentimental gifts with Scripted Jewelry. They make turnaround times quick, and they make the process easy, from getting whatever it is you'd like to say onto that perfect piece of jewelry and more. You can also save money in doing so because you just enter Rebels10 at checkout, REBELS10 for 10% off. Again, that is scriptedjewelry.com. All right, basketball, all jokes aside, I intentionally ran that segment out just for the heck of it. You wrote about this a lot. You wrote about it in the preview a little bit this morning, or whatever you want to call that, at rebelgrove.com. Also, some 10 Thoughts had this. But, I mean, we've been doing this a while. We were certainly doing this in October. We would have thought the future us would have been dropped on our head if we said Ole Miss and South Carolina are going to play a game basically in March, and it is going to matter for double buys of the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I wouldn't have believed it.
Not just one of them, both of them.
I'm not convinced Kermit Davis and Frank Martin would have believed it. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
They have a reason to say, no, I would have believed it.
Oh, yeah, all in.
Yeah. It's a testament to coaching. They're both tremendous coaches. They coach with an identity. Their teams inevitably adopt that identity because you have no choice. And this has the makings of a really good game. This, be honest, has the makings of a absolute fight out there. I think both teams will play hard. I think both teams will play physical. I think Ole Miss will do everything in its power to take away the 3 from South Carolina, which will open up the lane for Silva. He is more than a handful. Dominic Olenichik, KJ Buffin, Bruce Stevens have to have good games tonight. And then on the other side, South Carolina's guards, not the best defending guards in the world. They're young, and they're going up against a veteran trio of guards that can score and can hurt you and can get to the rim. And Ole Miss would love to get Silva in foul trouble. South Carolina would love to get Ole Miss's guards in foul trouble. It's going to be a physical game. South Carolina, both teams playing for NCAA tournament stuff. South Carolina thinks that, hey, they have 6 left, including Georgia and A&M and Mizzou. If they could win tonight, maybe they go 5-1 down the stretch, 13-5 in the league. Does that get you in? Certainly put pressure on the committee. Their net rating, I'm not sure, could get high enough to really feel good about it, but they believe they have a chance. And on the other side, if you're Ole Miss and you win tonight and you come home and beat Georgia, the last 2 weeks of the season might be gravy. Might create a situation where you're playing for seeding.
South Carolina is so interesting because we've talked about this at length, but it's crazy. December 22nd. That's Saturday. They go to bed. They wake up December 23rd, 4-7 overall. Losers of 4 straight to Wyoming, Michigan, Virginia, and Clemson. Now, obviously, some pretty dang good teams in that mix, but nonetheless, or 2 good teams in that mix, but nonetheless. Actually, Clemson's 31 in the KenPom. I didn't realize that. So anyway,
they're good. I think Wyoming's pretty good.
But before that, and I guess I'm sort of talking 2 different things at one time here. First, you wake up at 4-7 in the non-league and think, this thing's over. The season's over. No matter what these teams are, that's too big of a hole. And then all of a sudden,
and it still might be.
Probably is. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But you beat North Greenville, whoever the heck that is, and then you run off 4 in a row. Florida, Mississippi State, Missouri, and Vanderbilt. Only lose to LSU. That's what's amazing about this. Their only losses are LSU, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Tennessee in this mix. I mean, it's the upper crust.
3 teams that are probably 3 of the top 10 to 15 teams in the country.
And Oklahoma State's a top 100 team on the road. They're not good, but they're a top 100 team on the road. But what I was going back to this is looking back at it, and it's what might give them a glimmer of hope if they really finish the season hot, is those losses are all to good teams. I mean, Michigan, Wyoming is abysmal. They're 3-15. That was inexcusable.
That's bad.
Inexcusable.
Yeah.
That can't happen. And that's probably the eyesore that ends it.
Probably. What's Providence?
Well, that's where I was going with this. They're top 100. They're at 95 right now. Not good. Well, they lost to Stony Brook, too, which is 165.
Yes, that's 2 bad eyesores.
But Wofford's 28. Good
team. Wofford's good. Yeah.
Michigan 6, Virginia 2, Clemson 31.
Yeah, you're fine.
But those other 2 would stick out like these big boils on the side of your neck.
Well, and that's where Ole Miss doesn't have a – Ole Miss is one of the best lines on Ole Miss's resume. Ole Miss has 2 great lines on its resume. They have 4 quadrant 1 wins, and they have no bad losses. Nothing. They have no bad losses. And there's really, outside of Georgia, Georgia is the only one that could – a home loss to Georgia would be an eyesore. They really don't have many opportunities at eyesores. They just need to win games.
South Carolina, per KenPom, is predicted to finish 16-15, 11-7 in the SEC. They have tonight a 61% chance of an Ole Miss victory. They have it 61-39 to the Rebels tonight.
Did the Vegas line shock you?
What is it? I don't even know.
Ole Miss -2.
Oh, I did see that. Well, I would never bet on this game with your money, even.
No, you wouldn't.
And 2, I think if you just put a gun to my head and said you have to bet on it, I would just take the home team. But man, oh man, I would hate getting into this game to do that.
You could talk me into either side.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty.
Palm is predicting a 77-75 Ole Miss victory.
Yeah. You could tell me a 77-75 South Carolina victory, and I'd buy that too. I do think it will be a close game.
That's one bucket, one way or the other.
I do think it's a close game.
They have Carolina losing in Starkville on Saturday, 83-70.
Yeah.
And then they come home and play Alabama, which what's interesting about this is KenPom does not really like Carolina from a metric standpoint very much. They just don't. They're like adjusted efficiencies are 92 and 119.
It's just I think there's a lot of people that aren't sure they can keep shooting like this.
But my point being, Alabama's kind of a coin flip per metrics. They even have them losing in Columbia, Missouri later on. It's strange. I don't know. Carolina is one of the weirder basketball teams we've covered in the last how many ever years. Yeah, that's the problem is they have one lane to win games, and they've really done that for the most part. But it's one lane. Silva's got to be a superstar, and they've got to shoot the lights out.
Yeah,
that's it.
Tons of threes. Silva gets rebounds. If Ole Miss can win the rebound battle tonight, they'll win the game. They lost by 16 on the boards to Missouri and won the game.
Is rebounds the one stat you'd want if I gave you one for tonight? Or you got something else?
No, give me points off turnovers.
Points off turnovers.
Yeah.
If I gave you one player's line for either team, who you want?
Who? Bree and Tyrese.
Not TD.
No.
Not Silva.
TD's so weird that I don't, you couldn't read much into that. I mean, you could tell me Terrence Davis scored 6 points, played 7 minutes, Ole Miss won. Yeah. I mean.
But if you see Tyree's line and he has 3 points, they lose. And if he goes, he went for 28 and 8.
Yeah, they probably won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Odd Shark, who just takes some of their own analytics into question here. This is the one that surprises me. And this is why I can't get out of my own head, because I do think South Carolina's early losses are yanking their analytics so far down that it's causing these type of variances.
I don't know. A lot of these computer programs are really good.
Well, Odd Shark has not only Ole Miss winning, but beating the hell out of South Carolina tonight. 83-64.
Wow. I got to tell you, Ole Miss goes to South Carolina and wins by 19. They're in the tournament.
Yeah, Odd Shark says Mississippi will win, cover the spread, and the total will go under 83-64.
What's the over-under?
149.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, Vegas is good.
Vegas currently, 55% of the money is on Ole Miss to cover the line tonight. And so 55-45. And then the other one's pretty tight, so Vegas is going to make money either way. The over at 52%, 52-48 at the over on the over-under.
Kind of like the under, but not enough to bet money on it.
There's no favorite on the over-under. It's minus 108 and minus 110, so even.
Yeah, they nailed they put it exactly where I probably would have put it. Because it feels like 75-75 kind of game.
Yeah.
If you're betting this game, you're sick. You got so many issues, or you're just betting. You're either
betting on every game,
or you're doing emotional hedging, or you're just
I kind of believe in emotional hedging. I have no problem with emotional hedging. My team wins, or I made $100. One or the other.
Yeah, no,
I'm good.
I have no problem with that.
Whatever.
In fact, that's
because you go into it going, if it's your team in the middle of something fairly important, would you pay $100 for your team to win?
Usually the answer is yes. Usually the answer is yes. And so if they win, you paid $100 for them to win, and if they don't win, you have $100 to drown your sorrows.
During the NFL playoffs, you could have talked me into some hefty sums for some wins down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We would have given away some real money for playoff wins down the stretch. Looking at the rest of the SEC, if you're just kind of curious tonight, God, at a bloodbath coming here. Vanderbilt is at Tennessee tonight. A pissed off group of volunteers at that after the way it went the other day.
That could get bad. What's that line?
18.5.
Lay them.
You'll lay 18.5 tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. No letdown after the loss?
Pissed off.
Okay.
Now, they have a big game Saturday.
LSU.
That's the only thing I'm going to say is be careful putting the mortgage on this one. They might be looking ahead to Saturday, which is a monumental game.
Yeah.
And I think it's in Baton Rouge.
Is it?
And they'll have their hands full.
Kentucky is at Missouri this week in the midweek. Again, I don't know which one of these games are Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm just kind of running some off. But
I can't remember.
Kentucky is at Missouri. The Wildcats are favored by 11.5 in Como tonight. I could see a letdown there if you told me it happened.
I could too.
No, Kentucky's going to win.
Yeah. Conzo's team plays hard. They're limited. They almost look like a team who lost their best player before the season.
A game that suddenly really doesn't mean much either way. Alabama is at Texas A&M tonight, and Alabama.
It means something if Alabama doesn't win.
Are they still in the running?
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Oh, yeah.
Alabama minus 1.5 on the road at A&M tonight.
Here's the part. I was talking to a couple of college basketball people yesterday who just said, hey, the bubble sucks.
Those are all on Tuesday, by the way.
Yeah, the bubble sucks. The bubble sucks.
So somebody's got to get in.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to put 68 teams in that field. One of these SEC bubble teams is going to Dayton.
Ole Miss
Book
is
it.
up to 30 in the net, by the way.
Yeah. You can book that. Somebody from that SEC bubble is going to Dayton.
The Florida, the Bama, the whomever out of that mess.
And as someone who drove to Dayton the last time, I would like to formally request to Ole Miss that you not do that. That was a haul.
Why don't you just get in the tournament? Thanks.
Just get in. I'll figure it out from there. But if we could avoid the Dayton thingy where I've got to drive in the middle of the night to Nashville to catch a flight.
Oh, because you covered that huge comeback and then had to get to wherever the hell for Xavier later.
Yeah, I finished the game, got out of there about 12:30 in the morning.
BYU, right?
Yeah.
What were they down at the half?
Like 20-something. Come back and win the game. I get through riding, get in my car, and drive to Nashville. Got to Nashville a little after 6 for a flight to Jacksonville. Landed in Jacksonville and exhausted, starving, and I was training for a marathon and had to do a 7-mile run that day. Went downstairs and just did it.
Right then?
Right then. Checked in, went, got on a treadmill, and ran for an hour.
And then went comatose.
I went comatose. I took a nap, went to do all the media stuff, got something to eat, and was in bed, and I think asleep by about 8:30 that night.
Wow. So 1.5 for the Tide at the Aggies tonight, and then if you want to look around the country a little, one that either way kind of does whatever for Ole Miss. Baylor is in Ames, Iowa tonight, facing the Cyclones. So Iowa State hosting Baylor. And the Iowa State Cyclones are favored by 9.5 in that one at home against the Bears.
Won't matter either way, but you probably would like to see Baylor win.
Just to keep their situation up a little bit.
Make sure that stays a quadrant 1 win. It probably will. It was on
God,
neutral
Iowa
floor.
State could get so hot in this tournament.
Yeah,
The
sure.
way offensively, they're so elite.
I wrote about this in 10 Thoughts. Now look, it was an outlier when it only happens once. But if you somehow could package Bruce Stevens' game the other night and make that a regular thing, where he gives you 15 to 17, knocks down 3 threes. He took 6 good threes, took 1 heat check 3.
Okay.
I don't blame him.
Why not?
He was hot. But if he went 3 for 6 from the 3-point line on a consistent basis, scored in the mid-range, and rebounded the way that he's starting to rebound, getting 4 or 5 rebounds a game, he does change their team. Changes their team. Gives them a dimension they spent the season not having.
Looking at tomorrow night's game, just finishing up this midweek schedule real quick while I'm on the topic. Arkansas is at Auburn tomorrow night at, 8:30, 7:30, something like that, from Auburn Arena. I'm assuming 7:30. And then Mississippi State's on the road at Georgia at Stegman Coliseum tomorrow night. And then Florida is at LSU tomorrow night. So
that's an interesting game.
Is it? Well, with LSU waiting on Saturday a little bit.
A little bit. Got to wonder if LSU's kind of due a letdown. They did not play particularly well in Athens. They won the game, but they were sluggish.
Yeah, the game that you are talking about, that is Tennessee at LSU at 11 a.m. from the Pete Maravich Assembly Center on Saturday morning.
I'm in.
11 a.m. for that one. I'm looking. Auburn plays Kentucky at Rupp on Saturday at 12:30. Just feels like Auburn needs a win somewhere. They just need to kind of get something to. Their analytics are so good. Their efficiency
schedule
numbers
was
are
really
so good.
Their schedule was really good. That helps them.
But they've got just some bogged down stuff in there that's.
Yeah, and they're not the same team with Wiley not really effective. They're really guard oriented.
We mentioned Carolina is at Mississippi State on Saturday. That's kind of it. Nothing else that jumps out to me at all.
Big week for State. They could get 2 wins.
Big game for Mike Anderson on Saturday because he's got A&M in town. Just an absolute must-win to have any hope of anything, including his job, probably.
Yeah, because he can't be all that happy with Kelvin Sampson letting it be known that.
It's not really Sampson's problem, though, is it?
Oh, no.
I mean, if you're Sampson, hey, just saying. Just saying.
He covets that job.
Is that job worth coveting?
I don't know. I mean, he thinks it is.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it, how it's changed. The dynamics of it have changed. Can Arkansas recruit nationally?
Do they still have really good AAU teams and stuff?
Yeah, they still have some good teams. I mean, Arkansas, the state produces basketball players.
Much better than football players.
Yeah. But can you go get national players to come to Arkansas the way that they did back in the day? Can you recruit Memphis the way they did back in the day? Right now you can't. Not with Penny there. But now, look, if you told me that Memphis deal imploded in the next 24 to 48 months, I'd buy it.
Really?
Yes.
In what way?
Just people around that program.
What does an implosion look like at that program?
An NCAA investigation.
Gotcha.
If you told me that got sloppy, I'd buy it.
Okay.
Like super sloppy to the point where the NCAA had no choice. UNLV level sloppy.
Yeah. Back
in the day.
Podcast brought to you in part by Mastercuts Lawn and Landscape, mastercutslawn.com, 662-607-7773. You can also send them an email at info@gomastercuts.com. Let them handle all of your basic yard needs for 2019, from mowing and edging and weed eating to getting those flower beds in tip-top shape. They even will plant trees. They will fix up everything for you. They also will build structures, whether it be a fence, a deck, or anything else you have going on, including custom playgrounds. So, again, Mastercuts Lawn and Landscape, 662-607-7773.
Maintaining an appropriate retirement plan for your company often seems like a daunting task, especially when you consider everything else that goes into running a successful business. The Pinnacle Trust 401k Advisory Services provides plan sponsors with the expertise and consultation that they need to administer a retirement plan that inspires employees to reach their retirement goals. Pinnacle Trust Retirement Plan Advisory Team specializes in a variety of different types of plans, including 401k plans, 403b plans. Pinnacle can help plan sponsors benchmark their current 401k plan, consult on current plan designs, provide ongoing plan and investment fund reviews, manage employee communication and investment education, and conduct a plan sponsor fiduciary analysis. When you work with Pinnacle Trust 401k Advisory Services, you gain a valuable advisory team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement plan. They are committed to providing you with the personalized attention and involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k plan properly and ultimately improve your employees' retirement readiness. So call Pinnacle Trust 401k Advisory Services team today. They can conduct a complimentary, no-obligation benchmarking and analysis of your current 401k plan. Mention that you heard about Pinnacle Trust on the Oxford Exxon podcast, and you'll get 10% off your first year's fee. It's pintrust.com, PINN trust.com. Podcast also brought to you by the Westin Jackson. My mailbag will run at some point tomorrow, and you ought to stop by the Westin Jackson. If you live in Jackson, stop by Soul Spa. It's the ultimate luxury spa experience in downtown Jackson. And then gather at Estelle Wine Bar and Bistro, sip on a creative craft cocktail, or enjoy their curated wine list. It's open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and Sunday brunch. Chef Caden's mission is to connect guests with the community through local partnerships, so gather at Estelle tonight.
Podcast also brought to you by Blow Dry Bar Oxford, 662-638-3310, the Blow Dry Bar at gmail.com, 1801 Jackson Avenue. Tuesday to Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 3. Get the ever-popular blowout for that special someone in your life, or just if you're one of the 4%ers listening, for yourself. And you mentioned Rebel Grove. You're going to save money in doing so. You are going to enjoy it as well. Plenty of other services, from keratin treatments to bridesmaid things. If you got a wedding going up, all these different options there on Jackson Avenue. Voted best new business in Oxford for 2018. So, again, that number is 662-638-3310. Saying something? Look like you're grabbing the mic there.
Oh, no, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. All right. Let's see. I had something in front of me a second ago, and now I'm losing track on what it was.
I'm a little concerned about what my day's going to happen today.
Why?
There's a lot of speculation that the Cubs are getting ready to trade Ben Zobrist.
I like Ben Zobrist.
Well, my son really, really, really likes Ben Zobrist. And if the Cubs are trading Ben Zobrist,
Zobrist's got to be getting on up there in years a little bit, because he won a fantasy title for me, way more than a decade ago.
Yeah, he's in his late 30s.
Yeah.
This is his last year on a contract with the Cubs. But sentiment matters when you're 12. And Carson loves some Ben Zobrist. If they're trading Ben Zobrist to cut payroll, to save some money, That is not going to go over well in the carpool line when he gets in the car.
Oh, I thought you meant they were doing it to go make some big move.
I don't think so.
You think they're just saving money right now?
It's kind of what
Why?
Kind of what I think. I don't know. You didn't hear their owner yesterday, Tom Ricketts, asked specifically about Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. Said, "Well, that's easy. We don't have any more money. We don't have any more money." To which people think, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to believe.
Talk about an organization that could go from sky high to losing complete favor with the fan base in 24 months.
Oh, they've done it.
Oh, my God.
They've done it.
I mean, walking on water to
Oh, yeah.
hate every one of you.
The
major league character that's cussing them out in the
it's not everybody. It's they're cussing the ownership. That ownership could sit on the front row and people would go down there and get the pictures taken. And now that ownership gets on the front row and they're going to have guards to keep people away.
So what's in Theo's mind right now?
I kind of have my wonders. My prediction, my hot take.
L.A. sounds real nice this time of year, right?
My hot take prediction of the year is that Theo Epstein leaves at the end of the season.
And goes where?
Wherever he wants to go.
Literally.
Yeah, come on. Won a World Series in Boston. He won a World Series in Chicago. You tell me if he calls the Angels, they say no?
Who would say no? Maybe the Dodgers?
Maybe. I mean, a few teams wouldn't need him, but, I mean, the Astros don't need him.
Well, right. Yeah, I get it. Obviously, you're not going back to Boston.
No. But, if he called the Angels, if he called a lot of teams he could call, where's he want to go?
San Diego sounds nice with their little farm system they
Sure.
got going down there.
Sure. A lot of places. We'll see.
I saw these headlines yesterday. I'm assuming you probably have either read it or bookmarked it. If you have interest in just scandal or the NBA or anything, ESPN.com front page story today says in 2007, NBA ref Tim Donaghy pled guilty to betting on games he officiated, but it was never proved he fixed them. Until now, our 2-year investigation reveals how he did it, whom he did it with, and the millions that flowed from the conspiracy.
Yeah, it's coming on at noon today on Outside the Lines, and I'm wanting to watch it. I have not read it yet. I just haven't had a chance, but it's really fascinating. It's got to scare the hell out of people at every level of athletics, right?
See, that's kind of where I was going. We always talk about, and look, I really don't want to give thought to conspiracy theories. I really don't. But we always talk about, that could never happen. Well, it did happen in the NBA. I mean, now again, it's got to be very localized and very, very, very specific and niche.
Do you have the details there on how he fixed a game specifically?
I'd have to look through it. It's very long.
Yeah. Did he have player help or did he do it on his own?
Yeah, I don't know. I've literally just clicked the button, so I don't know.
Because I guess that would be my question would be, so let's say you're trying to fix a game involving the Warriors, okay? Well, if it's one of those games where Klay Thompson kicks the ball backwards and it goes in, because he has those games, I don't know how you fix that. You know what I'm talking about? When Klay Thompson goes for 50 because he can't miss, which happens every so often, where they have a heat check game where no one can beat them. I mean, I guess you're fixing the line or trying to, but that would be hard to do without any help from either bench. But I could see how you could take a mundane Charlotte-Milwaukee game on a Tuesday night in February, both teams on the second leg of a back-to-back where they're kind of going through the motions, and you could change 10 points. Get somebody in foul trouble. Some things like that. I mean, there would be ways to do it, but it wouldn't be foolproof unless I'm just really missing something. That's why I'm looking forward to watching it.
Well, and you got to keep, like we know from any point shaving deal that's happened, it's one call here or there. You're not trying to create a blowout. You're trying to just
it's not like the movie Naked Gun where he's out there doing stuff. I mean, it's
one whistle,
you're putting somebody on a line, calling a travel,
frankly, even calling a game a certain way to potentially change strategy in theory.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading here. I mean, again, it's incredibly long, but just it gets to an interesting quote at the bottom. It says, and I don't even know who this guy is, but it says, in his endeavors, Batista, again, I don't know, had a sometime assistant, another high school chum, Tommy Martino, who acted as a liaison in the Donaghy scheme. close friends with the referee since they were kids. Martino had a day job as an IT guy at J.P. Morgan. Using burner phones, Donahue would call Martino and inform him of his pick for the game he was officiating. Martino would then relay the pick to Batista. Batista and Donahue were never to speak directly. Batista would spend the day betting heavily on Donahue's selection. In total, according to a person with knowledge of their operation, he hoped to get down about $1 million of investors' money in each of Donahue's games. You want to get paid, you got to cover the spread, Batista had told Donahue. But Batista never used the word fix or influence or manipulate or any of the way he discussed the mechanics of fixing. There wasn't a need to, Batista told friends. The whole thing had been merely insinuated, a matter of strong innuendo. The only mechanics he had in his hand, he had the effing whistle.
Oh, can't wait to read that.
All right, here's the question. Is basketball the easiest sport to fix if you were going to fix one from an officiating standpoint?
That's a good question. Okay. I don't know enough about hockey or soccer.
No, we're talking Big Three.
Big Three.
Yeah, I mean,
because I know there's been a lot of scandal.
You can't fix golf. You can't fix tennis. You can't.
Right.
Yeah, no, we're talking about basketball, football, baseball.
I said that because there's a lot of scandal in Europe and stuff about referees fixing soccer games.
And I don't doubt that a bit.
But I don't know enough about it to know how you would do it.
Yeah, I'm taking soccer and probably putting it number one, to be honest. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
Because you can call penalties in soccer that one goal is the game. So I'm going to play. I'm going to say soccer's one.
Okay. You obviously, if you're the home plate umpire, could influence a baseball game. It would be difficult to do it without it being obvious, I would think. Because you're giving one pitcher 12 inches off the outside edge and not giving another.
Okay.
The coaches are yelling and screaming from the dugout.
Now, doing that as a one-off is one thing. Doing that like Donahue was doing it consistently is a whole nother argument.
It would get real suspicious fast, especially with TrackMan and all that stuff now.
Yeah.
It'd be tough. So, football. An umpire could impact the game with holding
But we're
calls.
talking about one official, not a crew of officials. Because if you got everybody on the same page, it's football.
Yeah.
Come on.
Now you're getting 9 people on a page.
Yeah, and we know if we're playing games of gossip now.
I don't like that. It takes one person to talk.
All right.
An umpire could. But yes, I think of basketball. If you got 2 of the 3 officials, you could easily fix a basketball game. One could influence it. And if you got all 3 involved, it'd be a lock. Now, I think it would be obvious. I don't know. Basketball, I guess? Maybe? I don't have much of a criminal mind, if I'm honest. I don't think like a criminal. Which I guess is a good thing.
He bet on games he himself called for over 4 NBA seasons.
Wow.
Started small, only a couple games that first year, but over the course of 4 NBA seasons.
Does it say how successful he was?
I'm still getting there. It's long. Because I'm reading kind of while you're talking as much as anything else. Said, he started small. In that first March, he bet on only 2 or 3 games. The next season, though, the volume rose sharply. He made between 30 and 40 wagers on games he worked. Same with the season after that and the season after that. He did well. By Donahue's own admission in his memoir, so much cash started rolling in that he had problems knowing physically where to stash it so his wife wouldn't start asking questions. I'll continue reading kind of as we're talking. But basketball, probably. I mean, again, there are certain blowouts you can't fix.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to be perfect. I mean,
No.
you're trying to get.
This isn't Hollywood where it's, hey, we're putting everything and we're fixing the NBA championship game 7. That's hard
right,
to do.
Like Warriors -11 at Boston, and you say, okay, well, I'm going to get Boston to cover.
You always got to take the underdog too, right? Usually,
I would think. I
so
guess.
much easier because it gives you more leeway, right?
I would guess, but like you can't overcome.
But Warriors -11 and they just don't show up that night. Well, hell, it's hard to get them to 12.
Right.
To win the game by 12.
But Warriors -11 and they're shooting the lights out. I mean, you're having a hard time controlling Klay Thompson from 32 feet.
Yeah.
And in the NBA, that kind of thing happens. Like you'll see a Kemba Walker, a Bradley Beal, a Paul George, a Steph Curry, a Kevin Durant, those types of athletes on the field, on the court, I should say, they get so hot that nobody can stop them. It happens all the time in the NBA. You'll see a guy go for 50, and after the game, they ask the other team, he's like, oh, yeah, he just was hot.
And you're just one dude.
Yeah.
You don't have complete control of the whole court.
Well, no, I'll give you an example. In the All-Star game the other night, Damian Lillard of Portland got hot and started taking 35-footers and just draining them. It's hard to stop. What are you going to do, call travel? I don't know. I can't wait to read it. I'm interested.
Yeah, I'll continue to scroll as we go. We'll probably have this conversation tomorrow after we've had a chance to fully dissect it. But there's an introduction if you want to be on the same page with us. It is at ESPN.com. Neil says the show coming on around midday, and then
I think it's at noon.
The story I'm reading currently. But anyway, we'll tell you about G&M Pharmacy. We told you how to get your medications moved over easily, just giving them a call at 662-236-2222. But now also like to tell you that them and Tyson's Drugs there in Holly Springs is offering a pharmaceutical-grade CBD oil that they are about to begin or have begun. It's going to come everything from soft gel capsules, topical salves, and more. Sorry about that. It's an all-natural product. It helps maintain overall health, helps regulate many conditions such as depression, anxiety, pain, insomnia, and more. Studies show that as many as 42% of CBD users have stopped using traditional medications and use the cannabis instead. So you can find out much more about that at G&M and Tyson Drugs. And again, just give them a call. If you're already a client, that'd be easy to do. If not, you should move your medication over and get with it now. 662-236-2222.
It's interesting. The podcast also brought to you by John Edwards of Regency.
Not only am I trying to go through stuff, but I've got Neil staring at me laughing the entire time. Like
a fella sometimes needs a warning that, hey, something's coming. Hey, heads up. What are y'all saying? Golf 4. That might have been a.
Now we'd like to bundle sildenafil and CBD oil all here. It's.
I'm interested.
Whatever works.
John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. You're thinking about that getaway for the summer? Florida, the Caribbean, Scotland, Ireland, Napa, wherever it may be. Get in touch with John. He's part of a worldwide network of travel partners. Allows John to supply his clients with added values and unique benefits that are simply not available to other travelers. You give him a call, give him some parameters, give him a budget. He'll give you options you would not normally find. It's that simple. 901-494-3387 or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients can save $50 off their first booked trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast. Also brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, Grenada Nissan's the place to go. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. They've got a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles, great lease deals as well. And we're coming to you in part sponsored by Harry Alexander. Harry is an Oxford-based RE/MAX legacy realty agent. He's been in Oxford more than 4 decades. No one knows the residential and condo market in Oxford better than Harry. Go to his site. He'll prove it to you, harryalexander.com. Click on the Properties and Neighborhoods tab. Filter through by what you're looking for. Then send him an email, ha@harryalexander.com. And brought to you by Oxford University Bank. OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB gives you the comfort of home, all the benefits the big mega banks provide, all the technology and products you can want, all with the personal touch. And when you call OUB, you speak directly with the live person, all without having to press 10 buttons, without a 5-minute wait. OUB offers its customers the absolute best cash checking account. It's called Kasasa, and with Kasasa, OUB will pay customers 2.5% interest on their balances up to $50,000. And ATM fees nationwide are refunded. OUB also offers online bill pay and mobile check deposit using its online app. To learn more about OUB, check out liveoxfordbankoxford.com or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured.
Podcast is brought to you by Visit Oxford. Visit oxfordms.com/events. The library show continuing today from 10 to 8. If you want to get out of the rain, that's there at the public library. Baseball probably not happening, but plenty of things else going on this week, including Thacker Mountain Radio. You know, those are Thursday at 6 o'clock, and a much, much more. Oxford Food Tours continuing as well, February 23rd, 12 to 3. You can see the site with more details and just get all the hotel, restaurant information, and much, much more there with Visit Oxford. Again, visit oxfordms.com/events. Let me also point out, we kind of made a joke a second ago, that the CBD is FDA approved. It's consistent. It's all those things. Also, it's coming from hemp, not marijuana. So it is. There are no hallucinogenic elements to this. It is just an all natural way to help with multiple ailments. So again, just want to clear that up. Probably in the first time I mentioned it, and I'll give you more information as we continue the days ahead, if nothing else. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I haven't gotten to the bottom yet. We'll go through the Donnie stuff tomorrow because I do want to finish it and I want to be able to read it where I'm not just kind of skimming, trying to listen to you talk at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's probably a deep read.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
Yeah.
There's a ton. You've got multiple reporters taking 2 years on this. There's a lot here.
And something tells me that every major commissioner, the Greg Sankeys of the world are reading this today, taking a. Hey, no calls for about 20 minutes. I need to read this. We need to talk about this. This could happen. If it can happen in the NBA, it can happen anywhere. NBA, one of the better run organizations in all of sports.
Was it in the early to mid 2000s?
David Stern, yeah, it was still good.
Yeah.
It's been really good. It's a good league. You don't have to love it to appreciate how well it's run. And when the integrity of your game gets challenged, that's getting right to the heart and soul of your product.
Obviously, plenty of places do gambling on college sports, college football. How long before we have prop bets in college sports?
Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, I keep waiting for there to be a scandal in college sports. You talk about people who are susceptible.
Have we had one since Minnesota basketball?
I can't think of one.
Was that Haskins?
Yeah, no, let me tell you, games have been fixed.
Well, yeah, sure. But I mean, blow up scandal
right.
caught.
No, probably not.
Because that was the Pioneer Press catching them in the late 90s.
Yeah. But, a lot of those players are very susceptible. They don't have money. College games impacted. It's a shorter game. Fewer impact players on the court. Get a good player to miss a couple shots. Hey, you normally go for 21, go for 16.
Oh, look, you can get one player in college sports to change everything.
Sure. That's my point.
I mean, no doubt.
Especially in basketball.
While you're reading ESPN.com, I actually got a lot of good content up today. I'm curious in this one as well. Neil probably will be also. The Year of Bo. The cover art is the shoulder pads bat photo, except basically kind of embedded into the Tecmo Bowl game is the cover art of it. It says 30 years ago, a run of events happened that would turn Bo Jackson from a brilliant enigma into an international icon. Jackson was known before 1989. But in 12 months, everything changed, and it's going to take you through 1989 for Bo Jackson, kind of month by month. So February of 89 is when Tecmo Bowl is released. Bo Jackson could not be tackled in Tecmo Bowl.
No, you could not bring him down.
Yes. I think it was him, and then defensively, if you had the Giants, you could use Lawrence Taylor.
I saw him hit a home run off Nolan Ryan in Arlington as a kid. And it remains to this day one of the most impressive things I ever saw.
Really?
Yeah. Straightaway center field. Just a majestic shot. It was like a jet taking off. He was so big, man, just so put together. Played baseball as a part-timer and was an all-star. You know how hard it is to play baseball. Very difficult to be a part-timer and be a baseball player. He did it. And would quit baseball season, finish baseball season, and just put on a Raiders uniform and go run for 180. Unbelievable. One of the most incredible athletes I've ever seen.
Better overall athlete than Herschel Walker?
Yeah, because he did 2 sports.
Yeah.
Now, Herschel was a great track guy. Herschel could have destroyed track.
Wasn't Herschel an Olympian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And didn't Herschel do, like, the snow?
That's what I meant, the luge or the bobsled or something.
But, I mean, most people say Herschel could have not done football and dedicated himself to track and field and
been a star at that as well.
And been world class.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it stands to reason. I mean, LeBron James could have said, hey, I'm not going to do this basketball thing. I'm going to play football, and he would have been. Russell Westbrook could have said, I'm going to be an NFL running back, and he would have been really good at it. Trust me. I mean, elite athletes can just change the uniform.
While I care nothing about the sport, it would be really interesting if the U.S. had some kind of soccer craze where you put Russell Westbrook and Reggie Bush on the pitch with a soccer ball. And
There's a Damian Lillard on soccer?
And then put LeBron in the goal.
Steph Curry playing soccer?
Yeah. I would like our chances a little better than they currently are.
Have a guy like LeBron with his talent start training as a goalkeeper at the age of 10? Whew.
Yeah.
Take a Kobe Bryant type player and let him train to be nothing but a soccer player?
Yeah. The guards on a basketball court, the running backs in the NFL, the Barry Sanders, Reggie Bush types.
Yeah. Alvin Kamara?
Yeah.
Let him train to be a soccer player?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? I mean, it'd be unstoppable.
We'll have plenty of coverage of Ole Miss and South Carolina in some form tonight on the site at rebelgrove.com. We'll have a live thread for you if you'd like to follow along with us. And then we'll tell you whenever they decide to do something about the baseball game. That's not going to happen, in my opinion. So
you're making Mike mad right now.
I mean, you know, I did this before and got in trouble with him. So I mentioned the canoe on Twitter that night, and he was not real happy with me. But,
yes, he goes canoe.
Yeah, because they played it without any problems. But I have a feeling he might have some issues today. So
I like your chances of being right more than I like the other.
His hope at the moment. So anyway, that's where we are. We'll be back tomorrow with another podcast and plenty of coverage in the meantime at rebelgrove.com, including what appears to be a great Memphis football recruiting discussion permeating on the board at rebelgrove.com. So we'll talk tomorrow.